Y'all, we live in difficult times. There's war, political unrest, the pandemic, poverty, families being torn, communities ripped by gun violence and people dying every day, police, injustice. It's all bringing so much pain. But y'all, we can look inside our minds and we can understand who we are, become better, and do this thing like we've never done it before. But it all starts with our mental health, and I know we can do it. I believe in you because I believe in me, and I believe in us. So guys, and continuing this discussion, so I hope this has been good. I hope you guys are understanding of those four loves. Like, maybe this is your first exposure, but I don't know. But we are that, I remember my boy in Coming to America, to be loved. Oh, what a wonderful feeling to be loved.
It's good.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Okay. So one of the questions we wanted to try to apply some of this to sinners. Storge is the foundation of all loves, but it can be unhealthy because we can become possessive, controlling. We can engage in love bombing. We can engage in insecurity. Philia can be amazing because we can choose our friends. However, assuming friendship can be very destructive because if you assume a comrade is a confidant, you might be really disappointed, right? We'll choose our friends at the expense of others. So, what I mean? I got all my millionaire friends. I'm making sure they all right. And if all these poor people over here, if they don't have what they need, then it's okay because my friends are okay, right? Yeah, eros is the euphoric feeling, but falling in love is like jumping off a diving board. Many people would dive in the water, but swimming requires our relationships to evolve in many different ways. Yeah. So, wow. When you think of modern culture, is agape love a fairy tale? How can we transcend ourselves and find this kind of love? Let's dive a deeper dive into this idea of love, and let's go here. Okay. So when we're looking at sinners, one of our first questions is, how is love manifested in Sammy and Perlene's relationship? Do you see it in that relationship at all? What can we learn about eros from their experience?
It's fiery.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's driven off of kind of a sense of infatuation and just a hidden desire for each other, without really truly, because they didn't really know each other like that.
No, they didn't know each other like that. No.
So it was almost kind of like just the physical attraction aspect and maybe seeing each other's gifts and making that being an alluring aspect to that relationship piece.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it felt like Perlene was trying to escape something.
Yeah, for sure.
She was in escape.
Her own situation. I don't even know. I mean, would you call that love? You know what I mean? Like, would you?
Yeah.
Or, was that coming from, like, just a lustful place?
Right. That's
what I mean?
Taking over love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would classify that as such, right? With no history and no, I think it was fiery in the sense of, like, there's that attraction you talked about, right? Bam, it's there, and I move in the sense of the attraction, not necessarily in building the bond, but I'm moving based off of attraction.
Yeah, exactly. I saw something. It looked good.
I want it.
It was interesting. I want it.
Yeah.
I don't really know what it means. I don't know how it drives or how it feels, but right now I know I want it. But when I get it, I might not like it. I might not want it no more. When I see that note, this car feels great when I get it, but when I get that note, I'm like, you know what?
Lessons, right? Hard lessons, man.
Buyer's remorse.
Yes.
That is.
Buyer's remorse. because they didn't really. So we could probably argue that that really wasn't even eros. They really didn't make that deeper connection. It was just it was just infatuation, and biology was just acting.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right. Because they never got physical.
Yes.
Did they?
Yeah, they got physical. Oh, Sammy tore her up.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes, okay. It's been a couple months since I've seen the movie.
We request the rewind.
Okay.
Yeah, Sammy learned a little,
Okay.
little trick.
Yeah, but
Okay.
yeah, but and it's funny because she had this way about her, like she trying to be cool and classy, like one of those white on church women. They come off all cool and classy and everything. Like I'm married and everything, but at the same time, she pulling you to the side. She pulling you to the side. She like, she like, oh, okay, you trying to be respectful, and you like, man, this is not what my mom taught me about how women supposed to act. Like,
Nope, not at all.
what? Like, oh,
not at all.
It's like,
Yeah.
like saying probably like,
You got one in, man.
she was there was like, I can see myself now be like, Mom, this ain't how girls supposed to act, right? Like I thought
That's not what you told me.
That's not what you told me, man.
So you went from being a boys to a man.
Yeah.
Boys to men, huh?
Boys
Yeah. I'll make love to you like you want me to. I'll hold you tight, baby, all through the night.
You put the door there. You walked to the door.
But you know what? Thinking about Bo and Grace, man, what did you see in their relationship? Because I thought that there was some philia there, man.
Yeah.
They had that connection.
Yeah. It was definitely that hey, you see what I see? You know what I mean? Just like we on the same page and being able to like connect and being in sync with what was necessary for the environment.
Yeah. You know what
I mean?
Yeah, I think on so many levels we might call them a power couple.
Yeah. No, they were. I think so.
Yeah. And they were the Asian couple.
Yeah, the Asian couple. Yeah.
It's funny that I actually just got back from Asia. I didn't tell y'all that.
Oh, for real?
Yeah,
That's where you went. Okay.
And one.
That's why the flies following you.
I know, right? Yeah, the mosquitoes was at me over there. But one thing that I can say about them and their culture is they definitely have a instinctive way of living, where it's like because there's so many people over there, they just know how to move and kind of like in harmony with each other, right? And I think it's a misconception like when they come to the United States, and sometimes people feel like they're not as maybe like apologetic or they might come off a little, but I think their instinct is they're just flowing with their truth, right? And it's not meant to offend, but it's meant to just be real with who they are. And so I think some of that was displayed in that as well, just as far as just instinctively how Asian culture kind of operates.
Right. And they was in a complicated space because they were like a mediator.
Yeah, they were navigating.
Yeah, they was right there. And so they had to put a lot of pressure on their relationship. And you think about early Asian experiences in America, they wasn't pretty.
Yeah,
they were
forced into a role.
Yeah, it was forced into a role, and they was trying to escape all the persecution and stuff that they was getting from the West.
Correct.
That's why they was moving. That's how they ended up, probably why they ended up in Mississippi. And so trying to build their family, their life and everything. Woo! And then being in the middle, a mediator between the blacks and the whites. Yeah, that had to be a tough thing. But they had that friendship, they had that connection.
Yeah. You ever had like that thing like with like the true homie where you don't gotta say it, but you look and you had that. Like you know what I'm saying? And you had that. What's the saying goes? What's understood don't need to be explained.
Exactly. They had that.
They had it.
Yeah, so I think it's important because friendship is so important, as you talked about earlier. Friendship is so important in relationships, and I think having a shared vision, like where you want to go. So, because look, relationships can't be just about your individual needs. You have to have the relationship has to have. I feel like for relationships to be successful, it has to have a transcendent experience a purpose greater than
Absolutely.
the individuals.
Okay.
If it's just about meeting individual needs, they won't work. It has to have something beyond that.
Yeah.
Right? And I think
Success.
they had that. And listen, one of the things that I think could be a challenge for people in relationships is when they have like they go out and get things, but they don't have a transcendent purpose. Because like as an individual, I can have things and be successful, but yet not feel like I'm in my purpose. So relationships, we can be like a power couple, but if we don't have that sense of purpose that we live in, that feeds us, it's almost like we're like cows in the field grazing, just eating every day for nourishment. But we're not.
Visual, yeah.
But we're not growing. We're not becoming a better version of ourselves, and the relationship is not growing because we're just doing what we need to do to survive.
Yeah.
That's good.
That is good.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I think that's important that we have that. Although, look, obviously Stack and Mary, they knew each other for a long time, right? What would you say was the essence of their relationship?
I would say there's a little bit of eros, a little bit of agape.
Yeah.
A little bit of agape.
Yeah. Well, when you say a lot, for sure from Mary, I mean, she unconditionally loves that.
Yeah.
You think so?
I think so.
Gotcha.
You know,
Okay. Go ahead. I'm gonna let go ahead.
I would think
agree.
she would unconditionally love him
Okay.
because, she pursued him first off harder than he pursued her. And I feel like despite the awkwardness of the role that the race played in their relationship, she was still willing to risk it all to be with him. You know.
Gotcha.
And the fact that she knew his lifestyle. You know, she knew that, he was pretty dangerous, and being with him could cost her life. And he was trying to warn her, like, look, this is not safe.
Right.
This relationship ain't gonna work. But she was still pursuing it regardless.
Yeah.
What you saying? What you thinking? You thinking?
I think it was like folded. Like I think that we got to see almost the different stages of it and how I think there was Philo. Like you could tell that there was like that sense of camaraderie and like that friendship and like I know you. You know what I mean? Like we have this history. I know you. When I think in terms of agape, I see that sense of like, it's like despite what may come and what could be the outcome, I still want to pursue this. You know what I mean? Now, I question it and I get that little feeling because it was like, was he necessarily willing to have that? And can there be agape love if
it's not mutual?
It's not almost like in that sense of mutual. Like, could that relationship display agape love versus she display agape love towards him, right? Which I feel like could be different.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I question that, but there was they definitely had that fiery passion. You know what I mean?
I think that's what you're looking for. Just
Yeah.
what I'm looking for.
Yeah, they had that passion, right?
So they had that fun. But one of the things I think about with this, man, I think this is a classic example of storge going bad. And what I mean by that is, think about it. So from her particular position, she was already born biracial, and by the time she got of any significant consciousness, she probably had felt, heard, and understood that because she was biracial, that she was in some level inadequate or something was wrong with her, right? But because she could pass as white, she could do that, but it still internally was this battle for her. So I felt like it created a sense of insecurity. Now, on the other end, you had Smoke Stack in the black community there, who, of course, society at large didn't really accept her because, you know, she had black blood in her. But black people accepted her. And that challenge of the back and forth of, okay, who am I? You know, Smoke Stack, that group of people, that community, they like embraced her and she felt safe there. But at the same time, it was danger. The danger was, number one, many people might confuse her for being white, and they might kill Stack. So that was was one of his interests. Like, whoa, you know, look. On her end, she wanted to prove that she belonged somewhere. And so I feel like on some level, she was able or willing to do things to prove herself in ways that other people didn't have to do that. So we can say that looked like love, and maybe it is. I mean, an individual, I can't completely say, but what I can say, there was a lot of real dangers. And when you think about love, if I know my actions may ultimately lead to someone being hurt,
Is that real love?
is that real love, or is there some deeper unhealthy thing going on there that's pushing this forward, although it could lead to our demise? But there was always this thing, I want to prove, I felt like she was trying to prove herself to them all the time. No, so I'm not going to say that she didn't love them, but at the same time, there was a lot of fear that was dictating her moves.
So she had that vampire monster somewhere up in there. Is that what you mean too, man?
Well, I would say she had this complex challenge because she was born biracial, and at a time where there was something, they talked about the issue of being biracial and having this struggle with identity, and I think she was struggling with that, and she was given this because she could pass, but she really didn't want to be that because it was always this echoes like, you know, really, hey, down at the heart of me, I'm a sister, this is where I want to be at, and I'm going to show y'all this is where I belong. And I think with love, if you feel like you got to constantly be proving yourself to someone, that's like a hole in the bucket. No matter how much water you pour into it, it's going to spill out on the ground.
Yeah, agreed.
You know, because love, there had to be some security there. We can't live in fear ships.
It's true.
And want relationships.
It's true.
No, that's good.
That's good.
Yeah, so you know, but we can, because it's a movie, we can always argue that maybe it was Agape, but I'll say it was storge gone bad.
Yeah.
I can see that. I can see that aspect of it for sure because, you know, to call it Agape, maybe it was just infatuation, you know, and maybe it was just, you know, following a toxic end of a train of thought.
See, and you know, and I think one of the things we try to do with love, which I think we do it is, we try to look at love as actually having all pure and good. Human love is having all pure, good intention.
Yeah.
But having love and then having healthy love and then having jealousy and insecurity and all those things, or love bombing, all those things that might be extremely unhealthy, might be, you know, way out there. But, you know, day to day, making the sacrifices and doing the things you do to say whether or not you love, because you could do one thing wrong and your wife could be like, my wife, you know, whoever could be like, hey, you don't love me, right? And you know, like, what you mean? And you thinking in your mind all the stuff you done.
Yeah.
But I think what we do with love sometimes is we think about it in very black and white ways.
Yeah, true.
And because, it's not that.
Yeah, because I think, you know, and myself included, it have been able to be in a relationship before that was unhealthy, but you did feel the emotion of love for that person.
Right, exactly.
And because the love was there, it blinds you into the aspects of it that was unhealthy, and kept you in a situation while people stay in abusive relationships.
Yeah. People stay in abusive relationships all the time.
Right.
You
and
know,
I think they truly love that person, you know, but it's to a default.
yeah, it's familiar. 11 years I sacrificed. Drop me at a drop of a dime. All of my tears, all of my fears. I should have left your ass long time ago. Hey, come on.
No, go. Yeah.
I'm like, look, when people start having a lot of questions and concerns about love, I was like, have you ever really taken time to listen to Mary J?
Mary J, boy.
She be telling you, boy.
I'm not.
The broken relationships made her make the best music.
Man, listen. But also to that point, it's like when you do experience that and then you come across a different experience, it helps you to distinguish the two. You know what I'm saying? So in this case, who knows like what their experience of love being modeled look like, where this could look healthy, this could look great, like I want to sacrifice, I want to do all these things, right? And to your point, like when somebody is depositing or making you feel good and you're getting those hits of dopamine and serotonin because you getting the affection and the touch, and you know what I'm saying, and the chemicals is at work, you know what I mean, like that's the association of it, is because I got this, then it means this. But you know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
To your point, it's like that don't necessarily equate all the time.
Because people can show you a lot of loving behaviors, but at the end of the day, be very abusive. And we want to love people regardless of whether or not they've been abusive to us. Kid, when you was talking earlier about children, I remember working for the county and seeing kids be abused, and then they be like, "Well, when I'm going home."
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not like they don't want to go back home.
Absolutely.
Shucks. I mean, they're in the hospital.
Yep.
Hurt because of something their parents did to them, but they want to go back home.
Absolutely.
And you trying to figure out like what?
Yeah, because that association,
that attachment, that connection. All right, so now I gotta think. Like, what do you see in Anna and Smoke's relationship? That's so much going on there.
Now there is Agape.
Man, you ready to go to Agape? Like he looking for you.
And I think that was connected to the child that they lost as well. The child that they lost, I feel like, was that forever bond, that connection, the storge.
Right, there you go.
Is that as well? I learned something today, storge. All right, so but their relationship probably was the biggest example of that. I would feel like for a multitude of reasons, and how they displayed, especially Anna, because it seemed like when Smoke came, it was just an instant. Even though you could tell that there was some hurt there, that there was some disconnect there, it was still like, but I still love you because of what we had and what we connected together on. Right?
And can I say something real quick? I think they had the grief, but their connection was beyond the grief.
Yeah.
They wasn't trauma bonding.
Yeah.
They wasn't trauma bonding.
No,
So go ahead. I just wanted to say that.
No,
it was.
It was a deep bond though that you could tell that they had.
Yeah, for sure. And I think like even like at that, like when you think about the agape love, like the sacrifice of it, you know what I mean? When it comes to that scene, and it's just like, like I don't want to become this. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Take care of me. Like that was sacrificial, because it's like, well, I could have you in a capacity. You know what I mean? But it was really that sacrificial love of like, this isn't what you want for you, so it's not what I want for you.
Yeah.
And you really seen it, and I think like they had the best character display of like all three. Like when we've been talking about like the eros, the philo, right? And you know what I'm saying?
Philia, yeah.
Like you see it. Like you see the friendship. You see the connection.
That reconnection.
You see the fire. You see the passion. Like you see these exchanges on it. So you can track it.
You can track it. And the thing about them, unlike with like Mary and Stack, when that idea of sacrifice came along, it wasn't a it was a different type of interaction there. You see?
Agreed.
It was
Yeah.
a different. There was a willingness to make the sacrifice, but the reason why that sacrifice was so it was, I wouldn't say easy, but it was something they could do. It was because of love. It was because of
true love.
like you said, the desire, what that person really wanted.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, who wants to, when you love somebody and you know they're hurting, why do you want to keep loving in a space where somebody's hurting? Like, I love you, but I want you to be where you want to be at. Like, and be in that space. I don't know. I'm hurting you. Like, if I'm causing you pain and suffering every day, feel bad. Why do I want to keep doing that to you if I truly love you?
Correct.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So you think about that with them, and they had it, that desire, that sacrifice, that friendship, that connection. And I don't know, I think I might have said this already, but when you was talking about them, that idea of friendship, like they just like nothing, like their relationship never ended.
Yeah.
Picked up right where they left off at. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she was so busy loving him and trying to protect him, and she wasn't like, well, where you been? Who you been with? It wasn't none of that. Like,
No
question.
wasn't. Are you back?
like he just do.
That's all it took.
Yeah.
Well, these were different times as well.
True.
Right? So
True.
the forms of communication and how they connect.
Absolutely,
He had just came from Chicago on what he was on, so it was like, hey, okay, you back now.
Yeah, you know what? But though, I wonder, man, because when I was young, I was young. Of course, we didn't have all of the stuff that we have now. And I remember I used to get letters, man.
Oh man,
Letters?
Yeah, man, and that was so dope. And
fold them up,
yeah, and you see somebody send you a letter, man. Yeah, I would get a letter from. And I felt like now I feel like when it doesn't feel as personal. It doesn't have the same value like getting a letter from somebody. Like I had a friend in Sri Lanka. She sent me a letter, or my friend in Poland sent me a letter, in these different places. And it's like, oh, I got some mail, or my mom or somebody would send me a care package or whatever it was, man. It felt some kind of way.
Do they even make postcards anymore?
They do.
They do make postcards. Yeah, man, they make them, man. And it's funny that way of connecting and just because sometimes even people will put their little perfumes or whatever and you would smell them and everything people don't dance no more. All they do is this.
Yeah, very
Don't
true.
they do is this. But anyway, so we got some important things we've learned from this, and I think we can review this right now. Look, storge is the foundation of all love, but it can be unhealthy when we are possessive, controlling, and we're love bombing, we're insecure, when we're not willing to make sacrifices, because it's just about us or what we need. But we have to be able to, when we have healthy storge, we have to be able to let go, right? Philia, it can be amazing, because we can choose our friends. However, assuming friendship can be very destructive. Friends can choose to be friends and forget about everybody else. So, like as I said, y'all, you know what? I'm gonna go over here with my millionaire friends. I'm gonna leave y'all hanging.
Where the world right now?
Knew you wasn't no real friend, man.
Shucks, man, I told you I was a comrade. Look, I put it out there to you, boy. I put it out there to you.
Absolutely.
Shucks. So I guess the question is, after this, how many real friends do you think you do have?
Listen.
Now, he gotta be careful about that question.
No, listen.
He gonna have arrows coming at him tomorrow.
I know, right? But I strive to teach my children, to be careful about, throwing around the word friend.
Absolutely.
And my daughter, and I won't name which one it is because she might listen to this, but she had a habit of coming home and saying everybody was her best friend, and then 6 months later, feelings crushed because they proved to not be that. And you have to, all those descriptive ways how you broke down relationships of friendships and comrades and, constituents, you need to be able to internalize that and not, look at everybody from a lens that you can give your transparency to, because that is really a sense of a friend, somebody who you can trust.
Right.
Agreed.
You know.
Yeah, right. But my mom used to say, don't give the devil a stick to beat you upside the head with.
Oh,
And I think it's important to know who you're talking to and what you can say.
Yeah.
And so knowing your friends and knowing who your constituents are and knowing who your comrades are is important, because you'll say something to a comrade you shouldn't say it.
Right.
And next thing you know, those people that work for somebody, work at a business,
Yep.
you'll be getting the walking papers because you said something to a comrade and they was itching. They got the itch on the finger. They ready, man. They waiting for opportunity.
Yeah.
And you confused them for a friend one time and you said something to them you shouldn't have said.
Yeah, I think, one of the most important things that played out in life for me, that my dad used to tell us all the time is like, when a person shows you who they are, believe them. You know what I mean? And when
Maya
you're
Angelou.
younger, you don't understand like the gravity of that. But like as you get older, like you said, you tell the wrong person the wrong thing. Yeah. It could definitely be detrimental. So I am, and I think it's so crazy because when I just came back from Jamaica, and we were, you know what I'm saying, I was with my homies and we were talking about this, like being true friends and being able to like show up in these different capacities. So I think like test the time, you know what I'm saying, test the time, test the trust. Yep.
Exactly, man.
Yeah.
And I'll say in a minute, man, I only got a few friends because I can't be that way with everybody.
Yeah.
I can't come like that.
That capacity.
Because they're gonna look at you wrong or don't understand something you have to say, and so hey, I only got a few.
Yeah. I think it's nice because me and my little sister, we were joking about this, and I was just like, "Dang, girl, you really my friend," and like, you know what I mean? Like, you're my sister. And there's that sense of obligation, but like we truly are friends. Like you are really like, that person. So sometimes like they could look, they could play multiple roles too.
Right.
I just want to acknowledge
And I would say it like this because, well, me personally, I don't have any siblings, right? So I'll say like I got a small hand of close friends who I would really consider my friends, but I have a lot of like brothers and sisters, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like I don't have any brothers and sisters, but what I can observe from brothers and sisters is, with your sibling, you might not necessarily always tell your sibling all your most innermost.
Agreed.
Right.
You still have love for them.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
They still hold you down and you can hold them down. But the level of transparency sometimes is limited.
Yeah.
Right, and sometimes that might do to maturity and different interests and goals, and then it might also be like, my sister was a tattletale, so
She ain't the one.
she gonna tell Ma.
In a certain situation, though, she still might have your back.
In my back, yeah.
Her back.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But you might not be able to tell her everything.
Yeah, you can't tell her everything. Nah, you just can't do that. And then it's funny because as you get older, what you realize is now you can be more open and transparent with your siblings if you have that type of relationship with them. And then you also notice that you can also start to develop that friendly relationship with your parents. Like you can have, and now you get a whole deeper understanding of who they are and why they are the way they are. Because they can share things with you now they couldn't share years ago. And you can say things to them without them being
without getting a whooping.
Like getting a whipping and them being critical of you. Now you find like, dang, we really rocking. And sometimes now when I talk to my dad, I'd be like, man, this is the smartest dude. Yeah. But I realize it in a different way than
absolutely.
Than you did growing up. His tutelage, right? I get that.
Yeah, it's a whole different thing, man. So friendship, I think, is so powerful. And the thing about, we have to think about friendship because it can outlast everything else because it's something that we choose to be in.
Yep, true.
And that's crazy because eros, it feels like we choose to be in it, but on some level, it's
our body betrays us.
Yeah, right. You think with other parts of your
yeah. So
it's different.
Yeah, and so we have to be mindful of it. What it means to connect in that way, and understanding that it has to be more to it than just jumping into the pool, diving into the pool. We got to really be prepared to swim once we get there. And if we know we just want to dive into the pool, we need to be honest with that.
Yeah,
Honest about that. I just want to take a dive. Look, I ain't trying to do nothing else. I just want to take a dive.
Absolutely.
Don't be trying to live in two different places. I just want to take a dive, because
don't come out dry.
Man, listen, that's how it is. Like I don't want nothing that comes with this.
Yeah.
I just want the feeling of the dive. You know what I'm saying?
That's all I want, man. I'm gonna get off the slide and go with my business, and we don't have to talk again until I come back to the amusement park.
Yep. Be honest.
These people gonna be lost. Some of these people, they talk about amusement parks and going down slides. I'm not talking about right now. It's adult camouflage language right now.
Yes, it is.
Hey, come along and ride with me on Fantastic Voyage. Slide, sippity slide.
Listen. If you need some clarification, go to the comments.
Yeah, go to the comments.
Go to the comments. We got you. All right, so we have to be willing to do that. So be real intentional about how you experience eros, and of course, agape. Man, is it? I mean, it feels like we live in a time when people are so self-oriented.
Oh yeah.
I mean, look at what's happening on so many levels in our country. I mean. Is there still hope for this idea of agape, man? Is it agape love? Like, really? I mean, is it?
Mark, you were just out the country. Like, I was just out the country. Do you feel like the experience of how people were towards each other was different?
Absolutely.
That was my experience,
no,
too.
Yeah.
I agree.
It's unfortunate that the United States, one thing that I observed was that social media didn't seem like it consumed people's world over there, right? There was limitations to it. And unfortunately, because we're so consumed with it over here, I think it goes to our self-absorbedness that we have right now, where everybody is so hung up on their opinions and what different views they have on other people's lives. And I think that kind of distorts our ability to have agape love, because I think everybody, has this judgmental opinion to an extent. It's almost like everybody's on trial behind their actions. And so I think, it affects our ability to have that agape love. I'm not perfect in it, and sometimes I have to catch myself when I feel like I'm being overly judgmental. And I think I look at it like what reels me back in is understanding, once again, the spirituality aspect of it, agape, God's agape love for me. The unconditional love for me when I know that I'm a flawed individual. I have plenty of, shortcomings. And despite those shortcomings, God still bless me. God still finds a way to love me and show me the love. So it would behoove me to give somebody else that type of grace, and so that's but yeah, to this society, this culture is getting further and further away from just giving unconditional love to folks, man, and just giving people that grace, to make a mistake.
Because love, I think in essence, when we give love, we don't have to think about receiving it.
Yes.
Because when our hands are open, we can receive. When our hands are closed, we can't put nothing in it. But if we can open up and trust, there's so much fear in the world that we stay so closed up. We stay so closed up in our houses, in our own little spaces, on our electronics, and we don't connect. We don't share. We just show. That's all we do. We just put on a show.
It's like, as long as me and mine are good.
Right.
That concept, like me and mine, not realizing, like, from even if you think at a bigger perspective, like, we are all collectively here. We are all collectively having this experience, and if I'm good, ultimately that creates space to make you good. You know what I'm saying? And if we both good, we could do more with that. But we just like, hey, everybody in this lane and in this vision, that's all I gotta worry about. And that's what, I just made the point of like being in another country. It was not like that at all. That wasn't my experience. So I think we have done ourselves a disservice in Western civilization to ourselves, because it's definitely a different type of mindset.
Oh, without question.
You know what I mean? It was a different type of mindset. I had like this experience where I went to this one person to go buy something, and he was like, "Oh, you already purchased from me. Go hit up him down here."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So they were all winning. You know what I mean? It was all a space opportunity, but you could have had more for yourself. And I thought that, when we think in terms of agape love, it's big love. It's bigger than ourselves.
Yeah, it's transcending you.
Yeah.
It's beyond just you. It's the well-being of humanity, not just you and your own house.
Yeah.
Because if your own house is good and everybody else is bad, eventually your house will be bad.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You can't just concern about yourself and not concern yourself with your neighbor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you see your neighbor going through it and just put a blind eye to it, and act like you don't see it, that's the overall mentality that is kind of, people aren't neighborly. They're not concerning for the other. It's about me and mine. And you said me and mine, I'm seeing it be more just about me.
Me, yeah.
True.
Just about me. Forget how even my family is doing. If I'm good, that's all I can concern myself with, and that's toxic.
But and what people don't realize with that is when you think about like love, when you think about the idea of empathy, empathy actually was one of those instinctive things that human beings evolved because they realized on some level that in order for them to be okay, that other people had to be okay too. And so when we stop connecting like that, like I talk about my hands being closed, we stop having that empathy. It makes it hard for us to have love because we don't see that when other people are bad, we're going to be bad. Or like eventually it's going to come for us. We can't just close our doors to it. Didn't we see that with COVID?
Yes.
It's going to come for us.
I mean, we done seen it over time and time again generationally. Like we have experienced this, and it's like for whatever reason we not catching the lessons. Open up a book, go back to history. Like we have experienced this. We know what it's like not to support the next, but we wrapped up.
And it feels like, over the last few days, the last couple of weeks, there was a conference in Charlotte, NAACP. I think last week here we had the Urban League conference. I believe in Detroit they had the World Festival in Detroit. Yeah, all these things going on, and people are communicating their feelings and opinions about things, and you get this sense that with everything, the storm that's brewing, people saying, okay, we got to come together now. We got to connect. Yeah. We got to show up. We can't just be electronic. We got to actually show up.
Right.
Because it's unfortunate that the urgency might create the emergency for us to get where we got to go. But sometimes it's like that.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Sometimes it's like that. Man, look, I wanted to read something really quickly about love, man.
You got the light on you, cool?
I got the light on me, yeah. You know what? This is Bell Hooks talking from the book All About Love. It's page 5. To truly love, we must learn to mix various ingredients: care, affection, recognition, respect, commitment, trust, as well as open and honest communication. If we're not willing to do that, we can't truly love. Because love is more than something that we feel. Love is actions. It's a verb. It's action. If you ain't gonna show me, then
what do it mean?
What does it really mean? You can tell me all day till I'm blue in the face.
Yeah.
So we got to do that as friends, as family, as lovers. We gotta show love in that way. Y'all got anything else y'all want to add to this?
Man, I mean, this was a great conversation, and forgive me if I seem a little disconnected today, man, because I'm still grieving my man Malcolm Jamal Warner passing today.
Oh,
man.
yes, man, I heard that.
I did not hear that.
You didn't hear that?
Yes.
Malcolm Jamal Warner passed today at the age of 54.
Yeah,
man.
54 years old. Yeah, I saw that right before I came in here.
He drowned, He had his family in Costa Rica and drowned.
What?
And man, that brother right there, man, that was like my big brother.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I didn't have a brother, but that was like, I
Wow.
looked up to him, man. And, you know, my heart grieves for him and his family. You
Yes,
know?
man. So sorry for him and his
So
family.
To his family, yeah. Mama's born Warner passed today.
I can't believe that.
I know, right?
That's crazy.
That hit you hard, didn't it?
Dang.
I had to end on that note, man. But yeah, that's, my head's been there all day ever since I heard it.
Wow.
So.
Yeah, man. I mean, and all relatively speaking, man, he's young, man.
Yes.
Young, man.
These are people we grew up with. That's
Yeah, man. The
crazy.
Cosby Show.
My
That's
God.
crazy, man.
The Cosby Show, man.
So it goes back to, you know, love people while you have the chance to love them. You know, because you just never know. Our times is ticking.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's
Yeah, you don't know, man. Yeah. We don't know what tomorrow gonna bring, man.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, I want to shout out love to Malcolm and Jamal's family, man.
Absolutely.
Because man, he was definitely a role model.
Come on, now. What?
Wow.
The example of, you know, that example of a black family for one, but then his role, you know, and just who he is as a person, man.
Right.
He's an extraordinary artist, man, brilliant mind. You know, always has something, you know, uplifting to say. You know, so if you don't know who he is, do your research. Check his resume.
Pray for the family, man. Pray for the family.
Yeah, man. Because you know it's crazy. Somebody like him, you may not realize how his legacy, the things he did, may have influenced your life without you even knowing it.
Yeah.
And that's the power, because somebody watched the show that he was in, and then it influenced how they made a certain decision. That may have influenced a whole nother generation of people, and you don't even realize it. Just like with negative things, we don't realize where those negative things come from and how they influence us, but they still present in our lives. And we wonder how did it get this way? But the positive is the same way too. So man, you know, so yeah, and definitely we need more love in the world, right?
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if y'all remember that song. If I had a hammer, I'll hang out danger. I hammer in the morning, all over this land. I'll hammer out danger. I'll hammer something, but love your brothers and the sisters. Love your brothers and sisters all over this land. Come on, it's a song about a hammer, but it's an old song I heard when I was a kid, man. It just came to me when we was talking, but I don't know the words right.
I wish lyrics came to me like
Well,
that,
man, listen, that's a tell
I'm
it.
trying to keep up with things I done said, man. But you got it, brother. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
That's a connected.
So I think one of my greatest learning skills in school was memory. Yeah, I'll read something, remember that junk, and then. But it wasn't just remembering it. Then it was also
photographic memory.
But it was also the ability to take it and then use it in a way to make a particular argument about something.
Yeah.
And I gotta tell y'all, but love is one of the most powerful forces in the universe. Absolutely. And we need to show more of it, man. Develop our community, develop our families, develop ourselves. Because ultimately, like you said, if we don't love ourselves, we definitely not gonna love anybody else.
This is true.
Yeah, because self-hate is the beginning of all hate.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because if I love
if I don't love myself, you don't stand a chance.
Absolutely
You don't stand a chance.
Right. And Confucius also said, you know, he said, do not unto others they have not do unto you. He said the same thing, essentially, but I think he said it like, do unto others. He said, like, do unto others as you have them do unto you. Do not unto the others as you have them do not unto you. He said it something like that, Confucius. And so that's Asian, right? But that idea, that concept of treat people the way you want to be treated. And if people don't want to treat you right, then go find somebody else.
That's the truth.
Mark. Oh.
Find a new crew.
Look, you know what? I figured this out, man. We gotta get on the Vigatron meter, man. Hopefully we got on the Vigatron meter. We gotta get on the Vigatron meter. So hopefully, if he listens, he'll see a few things to laugh at and be like, "Yeah, okay." Vigatron, we watching you. All right. Listen, anything else y'all want to say? Thoughts, feelings, opinions, ideas. All right. Well, if you like this episode, Please like us, subscribe, and don't forget to leave your comment in the comment section. Thank you and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.